for me to be really freaking honest with you. This week, my body was feeling off. Like my body was feeling off. I was feeling soft. I was feeling honestly a little bit heavier, and I was feeling more jiggly than I used to. Like quite literally, my arm was out while I was putting pepper in the pan and my arm was jiggling. I was feeling soft. Okay, so here's the thing. And I know why my body was feeling like this. My nutrition has been honestly a little iffy. I've been working out. You see, I'm consistent with my workouts, but if I'm being honest, I've been going through the motions. And we're all guilty of that in some way, shape, or form. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. I've kind of been just showing up, just getting it done, but not really giving the intensity that I know that my body actually deserves. So there's something that a lot of people will not say out loud. And you know when your body is not where you want it to be. It's no secret. It's no surprise. You absolutely know. And at the end of the day, you know that your habits always show up in your body. There is literally no hiding that. There is no sugarcoating it. Your habits show up in your body. So how you're eating shows up in your body. How you're training shows up in your body. How consistent you've been shows up on your body. The lack of effort, it all shows up. It's always going to reflect back. So when something feels off, it's not random. There's a reason why, right? I talk with women all day, every day. I don't feel good in my body. That doesn't just creep up on you. That is something that happens over time, right? Most people don't want to say this. Most people don't want to talk about it, but this is the real motherfucking truth. All right. So instead of doing something about it, most women will ignore it. They will ignore how they are feeling, and they'll tell themselves like, okay, you know what? I'm noticing this, but I'm going to start next week. I'll start next Monday. Next Monday works better for me. Or, I really need to be more disciplined. I just need to be more disciplined. I know what to do. I know how to eat. I know exactly how to get my body where I need it to be, but I'm just going to wait, right? They do this, and we're all guilty of it. We do this until a trip is coming up, until there's an event around the corner, right? Like, well, my cousin's wedding or my wedding, I'm getting married in July and it's April and like, I want to have my dream body, right? Like we don't think about it until the event is actually coming up or until we hit a breaking point. So for example, you go to the doctor and they say, hey, you're pre-diabetic. Your blood pressure is really, really high. You've got high blood sugar. You've got high cholesterol. Oh shit. Now we're hip. Now we're like, okay, actually, I need to do something about this, right? And this starts a cycle. This whole routine starts a cycle where you go hard, where you burn out, where you quit, where you start, where you fall off, where you repeat. And you find yourself in this never ending fucking loop of I'll lose 5, 10, maybe 20 pounds. The event happens and, I'm back to gaining the weight back. And then, oh my God, I've got another vacation coming up. Let me go really, really hard in the gym. Let me diet like a mad person. Let me only drink water and freaking lemon juice. And then here we stay in this constant cycle over and over again. And you're staying in that cycle. We get stuck there. Not because we don't know what to do. It's not because we're stuck. It's quite literally because we do not have a consistent structure. We do not have a consistent system that allows us to stay consistent when life gets messy. So every time we lose our motivation, we stop. We fall off. Right? Every time things fall apart, every time things aren't going perfectly, we end what we're doing. We get sick. Oh my gosh. Every time I get sick, I can't stay consistent. I get injured. I can't stay consistent. Oh my God. I went on vacation. It's like I couldn't get right back on track because I went on vacation. It's this never ending cycle, right? It never ends. So what I'm doing with noticing that my body is feeling off, I'm feeling fluffier, I'm feeling heavier in my body. I put on some pants and I could feel the top of my belly kind of hanging over. I felt my arms shaking a little bit more extra when I was walking and when I was shaking that pepper into the eggs that I was making the other morning. Instead, what I'm going to do is I need data, right? I'm feeling this stuff in my body, but I want actual data. So what I went and did is I went and got an in-body scan. Okay, this in-body scan actually breaks down the composition of your actual body. So it breaks down your muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass, it breaks down your body fat, and it gives you like your total body composition. Okay, so with this data, knowing, damn, Kendall, you're feeling a little different in your body, what's going on? Now I've got data that's actually showing, girl, your body fat is up 5 pounds and your muscle mass dropped 2.5 pounds. Okay, so the scale has stayed about the same. Like I normally range somewhere around 150, 153. So the scale itself hasn't done anything too insane. It's up. I'm at 152, 153. My issue is this. This is why I'm feeling more flabby. This is why I'm feeling more fluffy. My body fat is higher than it normally is by 5 pounds, and my muscle mass has decreased. Okay, so knowing this information, getting this data, knowing what the hell is going on, I have got a choice. Okay, I can either stay complacent and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to wait until summer. Summer sounds good because that's when I really want to look my best anyway. You know, I'll wait until I need to put on a bathing suit to start worrying about how my body is feeling. Or I can actually do something about it right now. Okay, I know what it feels like to feel good in my body. And it's not that I feel bad in my body, but I feel my body feeling different, right? So I know what it feels like to put on my clothes and feel off. I know what it feels like to put on my pants and they're not zipping up. I know what it feels like to be like, ooh, damn, I need like high-waisted something to kind of like suck me in a little bit. I know what it feels like to feel confident walking into a room. And what I refuse to do, me personally, myself, is to sit in this feeling. Because I don't like it. I don't like how my body is feeling. So instead of sitting, this is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk you through the things that I am doing to move me from seeing 5 pounds of body fat increase, seeing muscle mass decrease. I'm going to do this. Number 1, I got to tighten up my training. Like I said, I've been consistent with exercising. I walk regularly. But when you are used to having a certain amount of muscle mass on your frame, that's what keeps you toned and sculpted. I wish I could pull up my progress photos for you right now because you can see, you know, maybe even 6 months ago, my muscle mass, like especially in my quads, especially like some of the area in my back and my arms, you can see the difference. Okay. So when it comes to my training, I'm going to be consistent with my training, but not just showing up, because sometimes showing up is the baseline. Sometimes when we've got all of this life stuff happening, and that's kind of what's been going on for me for the past few months. I've been more stressed. You know, I've kind of been going through the motions. We're human. It happens. Okay. We don't have to stay there, but it's normal. It happens. We're human. So I got to start pushing myself again with my training sessions. So the past few days, I've been back on my bullshit for 3 days. And instead of going through the motions with my training, every single set that I'm doing, the last few reps of that set are a struggle. I need to be struggling during my workout, making ugly faces, struggling to do the last few reps. That's how we grow muscle. And if you want to build muscle and you're just 5-10 pounds every single time you go to the gym, you're going to have a really hard time toning and sculpting your body. Toning and sculpting is building muscle. To build muscle, you have got to progressive overload. You've got to really push yourself in the gym. So that's number one. Number 2, I'm walking more. So I've been averaging, I would say maybe around like 4 to 6K steps. Now that the weather's getting a little bit warmer, now that I actually have, and I actually have a walking pad right here. I really have no fucking excuse. Your trainer ain't perfect, okay? But there's so many opportunities for me to get in more steps. I need to be getting somewhere around like 8 to 10K steps on a regular basis. So I'm holding myself to that higher standard when it comes to an energy expenditure. So the more you move, even just through steps, the more calories you're burning. It's increasing your energy expenditure, which makes you more effective at burning body fat. Number 3, tightening up my nutrition. So this is the biggest piece of the puzzle for many of my clients and myself included. Exercise is not really the issue for most people. Most people don't have an issue showing up and going to the gym. The issue where most people struggle is what they're doing with their nutrition, because you're faced with it multiple times a day, all through the week. You're faced with food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. When you go to events, it's always there. When your workouts, it's just like, okay, I show up, I get the workout done. I was there for 40 minutes, an hour. That's it. And I'm going to move the hell on with my day. That's not how food is. So when it comes to my food, I do not do extremes. Okay. We're not cutting out carbs. We're not, removing food groups. I'm not going to say, well, I'm not eating any fast food for the next, 3 months. That can absolutely be a goal. But what I'm wanting to do is I'm just wanting to be more intentional with the types and the quality of food that I'm eating a majority of the time. I'm quite literally just dialing in what I already know works. Pulling back. I don't need to be eating sugar all the time, all day. I can still have sweet treats, but maybe I create more of a structured plan around when those sweet treats actually enter my mouth than shoving cookies down my throat all day like I have been. Okay. We got to all be honest with ourselves. Okay. So this is one of the most important things that I teach my clients is like, we don't have to overcomplicate this, right? Most of my clients are literally taking pictures of their food and uploading them into an app and losing body fat. Some of them use MyFitnessPal to track their food. Some of them use Lose It to track their food. But many of my clients are literally taking pictures. We learn how to eat. We learn how to nourish our body without overcomplicating, without making it this big to do, and most importantly, without having to follow a motherfucking meal plan. Okay? Because you need to learn how to eat for the long term, and a meal plan ain't really doing that for you. So there's no meal plans here. We're really just tightening up our meals, making sure we're building balanced meals, and making sure that I'm being intentional about my fullness and hunger cues at the end of the day. So when you look at these 3 things that I'm doing, right? I'm getting serious about my training, right? Number 2, I'm moving my body a little bit more through steps. Number 3, I'm tightening things up with my nutrition. None of this is confusing. None of this is rocket science, right? So the thing with most people is you haven't decided to change it yet. You haven't decided to implement a system that actually works for you. And you are still in this Ferris wheel of round and round and round we go of on again, off again, lose 5 pounds, gain 5 pounds, on again, off again, lose 20 pounds, gain 20 pounds, and never seeing long-term success. So I want to ask you, if you have been feeling off in your body, like I have, and like many of us do across the timeline of our lives. We're not perfect. Nobody stays perfectly in shape all the time. It's really, really hard to do that. Okay. Now you can stay within a range that feels comfortable to you, but with life experiences, life happenings, sometimes you get hit with triple whammies back to back to back to back. We're not always going to stay perfect. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. But in order to stay in this routine where we don't feel like we're having to start at the starting line every single time, and if you feel like that's where you are, where it's time and time again, I'm starting over, starting Monday, starting in the spring, starting in the summer, starting in the fall, right? This is your sign. You can either ignore it or you can actually do something about it. Okay. So if you're wanting to know what is keeping you stuck in this on again, off again cycle, this Ferris wheel, this I'm not really seeing progress. It's the same thing over and over again. What you're going to do is you're going to comment QUIZ1 below. QUIZ1, all in the same, no spaces, right? Comment that below and I will send you a 60 seconds quiz that will tell you exactly why you are holding yourself back. Tell you exactly where things are breaking down for you so that you can understand why you found yourself in this on again, off again experience.